Okay, vibrato consistency. Question about how to practice that between bow changes and also between fingers. Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, with changing the bow, you just simply have to not stop the vibrato going. And that's a mental thing, because a lot of times we get conditioned to when we change the bow, the left hand stops. You can do that easily if you just concentrate on it. And then finger to finger is a little more complicated. I would use a metronome. I don't have one here, but and if you stay on the same note, you can really hear whether your oscillations are staying absolutely regular. And eventually you move to scales, but always with a rhythm of the vibrato being continuous from one note to the other. Now, questions about the thumb of the right hand. Should the weight of the bow rest on the thumb? Well, it doesn't actually rest on the thumb. The thumb is opposing the fingers in this situation. So, yes, of course the bow does rest on the thumb, but it rests even more on the string, which is where you want the weight of the bow to be. And once again, if you are applying pressure past the middle of the bow, or even at the frog, you're pushing down with these two fingers and you're pushing up with the thumb. So you're doing this, and when you're picking up the bow, you're pushing the thumb up again and pushing down with these two fingers. So the thumb is pushing up one way or another, and depending on whether the bow is going down or up, it's either these two fingers or these two fingers. Then the last question. Oh, sorry. Precise point of contact of the bow on the bow with the thumb. Well, I think most of us put the thumb between the frog itself and the grip, although there's a great variance of that. And some people like, of course, a very, very bent thumb. Other people use a flat thumb. It's really where it's comfortable. Once again, it's more important the function of the bow, what it's actually doing, and that the fingers are able to work on top of the bow in a proper way with the thumb as the fulcrum. Now, what can you suggest about how to realize bow tremolo? Speed, dynamics, etc. Well, as you know, violinists, if you've seen them in orchestras, will sit sometimes and rest their hand on rest their wrist on their knee, and just kind of wiggle the hand like that for a very, very fast tremolo. You can approximate that for a soft tremolo by going to the tip of the bow and sort of cocking the wrist like this, and then just twitching. That's the fastest tremolo that I can do. And then from there, to increase the volume, the only thing you can do is press down harder. And if you need more sound, you have to begin to come broad. But as you do, the stroke gets slower. Hopefully the excitement of the music will obscure the fact that you're going da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, as opposed to that, which you can do at the tip. But that's about all I know about tremolo. It doesn't happen too often in my repertoire. Anyway, I hope these have been useful, and I'll continue with the Calgary Talks tomorrow when we tackle some of these really larger questions.